Hello and welcome. So usually I do updates on the first day it comes out, but I'm usually not comfortable about covering an update that I know very little about, so this video is probably a day later than most people would do it. But after trying out this distraction and diversion a few times, it seems really well done for a simple minigame. It's fair to both new players to the minigame as well as experienced players who know the objective of the game. So this is a minigame that you could do 2 times per day. A new sinkhole spawns every 20 minutes, so you shouldn't have much trouble finding one. And to get to there, just talk to this guy at Damonheim. You get 3 free teleports per day. If you used up your 3 free teleports to the sinkhole, then you can just talk to him, ask for a clue, and he'll give you an ETA as well as a hint on where the next sinkhole will be. So once you're at the sinkhole destination, enter it when it spawns. There are 4 bank chests near the corners of the room. You're not allowed to actually bring anything into the minigame, so there are bank chests in the corners of the room for you to bank your stuff. When you're ready, right-click the NPC, use the quick option to enter the minigame, and the minigame will start when there's 5 people ready. When the game does start, you're given a countdown. During this time, you want to pick up some armor, either melee or range. Melee is good for single target, range is good for AoE because you have a multi-target ability. So just choose which one you prefer. And these are just to help kill monsters, which give you points. In the middle of the room, there is also a crate of food. You can choose to get these if you want, if you're really low defense. But generally, the monsters in the dungeon are really weak, so you often won't need them. And the next thing I want to point out is this door here is opened at the end. Do not worry about this treasure door. It'll be open when all 3 objectives on the top left are completed and or when the 7 minutes are up. So you can see that I'm already a bit behind in this clip because I stopped to show the treasure door, grab some food. But the number one thing you want to make sure you do is at least complete 1 of each objective. You'll get twice as much XP for doing 3 objectives rather than just doing 1 objective. In every sinkhole, there will be exploratory totems and combat totems, as well as a third objective, which is usually a random skill, either something like fishing, mining, or woodcutting, and you just want to make sure you get 1 of each. The exploratory totems appear 1 in every room. Everybody in your party can see it, so you want to make sure you're the first to grab this. And if you're exiting the base, you want to go a separate route that not everybody is running through. So these totems will give you 20 points each. Your score will determine your reward, but I'll talk about reward towards the end when I actually get to it. Also, throughout the dungeon, you'll be given cards, which can alter the prize that you end up with, but I'll cover this at the end. The second objective is combat totems. These are dropped upon killing a monster. They're worth 30 points each, so these are worth quite a bit. So you want to focus on getting the exploratory totems as well as some combat totems. And you want to kill a monster in between grabbing the other objectives just to increase efficiency. The third objective is resources. Again, it's like a random skill, usually mining, fishing, or woodcutting. This is usually the last objective you want to focus on. You want to focus on the first 2, that is exploratory and combat totems. Those are worth a lot more points. Resource objectives are only worth 10 points each, so it's not worth as much. You are allowed to use the map of the dungeon to find deposit booth. Now these deposit booths are pretty important because this is the only way that you actually turn in your resources for points. Exploratory totems are worth 20 points each. Combat totems are 30 points, and resources are 10 points each. So you actually have to deposit them for it to count, and there's actually a limited amount that they're going to accept from the entire team. Now this number is pooled from everybody in the team, so you want to deposit them before everybody else does, before it hits the cap, or else you won't get points for it. So pretty much what you want to remember for sure when you start this is go down a path that somebody else isn't already going down. Make sure you're ahead, get the exploratory totems, get the combat totems whenever you can, and resources is the last thing you should be worrying about. And aside from that, once everybody has finished all 3 objectives, all 3 will be ticked off, and then you guys will head to the treasure room. Here you'll be given your rewards based on how well you do. The person in first place gets a huge lamp, but everybody, the cards that you've gotten throughout the dungeon, this can affect the outcome of what everybody gets. So this is like a saving grace for people who didn't do too well, so you could still get like maybe a huge XP lamp if you have the right card, So the person in 5th place gets to use their card first, and then the person in 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and the person in 1st place is the last person to use their card. So it still helps to be number 1, but even if you're not doing great, you can still get a pretty decent reward if you're in last place, but have a really good card. Everybody only gets to use one card, so there's no point to having duplicates of one card. If you have like 2 of the same cards, just destroy that one, and maybe pick up another one while you're going throughout the dungeon. So as you just saw there, it helps to be number 1 because I got the final choice for my card. I swapped with the person in last place for the huge XP lamp. Unfortunate for him, but this is the competitive element where you compete for the best reward. So best of luck trying out this distraction and diversion. If you have a group of 5 friends, feel free to join an empty world and compete against each other. So thank you very much for watching and have a nice day.